Welcome back to the Mind Body Business Podcast. I'm your host, Jane Bellante. So excited to be here on this Monday morning. I am grateful that you're here, whether you're joining me live on my business page, on Facebook, every Monday at 10 a.m. Central, or you could be watching the replay on YouTube or listening on Apple or Spotify. Either way, I'm really glad you're here. Today, we are talking about trust and the power of letting go of force. And I really feel like there's a point in everybody's journey, and there has been in mine, especially in life and business and relationships, where we realize that all the pushing and the planning and the perfecting of things, it's really only creating more resistance. So that's what I want to talk about today, that trust. And it's not the kind of trust that is like passive, where you're just, kind of believing in it. It's really the kind that's built through deep awareness and absolute commitment, which can feel hard. Because when we try to force something into being, we really are reinforcing the very belief that it doesn't exist yet. So force says it's not happening, so I need to make it happen now. And trust says it's already unfolding, and my job is to stay aligned with it. Two very different feelings, two very different frequencies. And that is what this episode is all about. So let's get started. Welcome to the Mind Body Business Podcast. I'm your host, Jane Bellante. And this show is about what happens when you stop separating your life, your work, and your well-being, and start leading all of it from truth. Each episode will explore the connection between your thoughts, your body, and your business, so you can create a life and success that actually feels good. Let's get started. I have Pam here. I have Lynn here. Michelle is here. I'm so grateful. I really am. I think that for a lot of my business, I was stuck in the forcing, and I really can plop right back into it. And I know that we are conditioned in our society, the world that we live in, to equate effort with worth. So if we're not hustling, if we're not trying to fix everything all the time, if we're not pushing, we feel like we're falling behind. And I feel like that is ingrained from grade school on. But what I want to bring to you today, and maybe you've heard me say this before, but forcing energy, it actually has a specific vibration that is rooted in lack. So when we try to force an outcome, we're actually saying, I don't believe it's coming. I don't believe I'm safe to wait for it to come. And I don't trust that things are working even when I can't see them. So if you're here with me live, put in the comments if that is resonating with you, if you can see yourself in any of those things. I don't believe it's coming. I don't believe it's safe to wait. I don't trust that things are working even when I can't see them. And the irony here is that force doesn't speed things up. It slows them down. And it also makes you feel really yucky in your body. Like that heaviness in the chest, or like your throat is being constricted. Lynn says 100%. So the universe, or whatever you believe that higher power is, the collective consciousness is, whatever it is, God, universe, source, whatever, it responds to your frequency. It doesn't respond to pressure. So when you're forcing, your signal that you're putting out is anxiety and scarcity, and you can feel that in your body. I went through that for years. You've heard me talk about how my husband kept losing his job. It wasn't through his fault specifically, but I do believe that we were manifesting that because all we put out was anxiety and scarcity over and over. And it's really when I shifted to trusting that my signal changed to full coherence, like feeling really good, body, mind, spirit, soul, and belief. Because coherence always, always, always creates faster alignment. And we want to just remember that surrender is not giving up. And I really think that surrender gets a bad reputation because we hear that word and we think it means quitting or that we're supposed to do nothing. And in our society, right, we're conditioned to feel like that's not okay. But surrender really is the opposite. It's an intentional release of resistance. And it's really the moment you stop fighting with what's happening so your energy is not stagnant. It can start moving again. Surrender doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you stop acting from panic. And believe me when I say that I have acted from panic many, many times in my life and in my business. Surrender means you stop making decisions from the place that says, if I don't do something now, everything's going to fall apart. It's that conditioning that makes us think that we have to hustle in order to make things happen. And that's really all we hear all the time. So surrender is the shift from always thinking that we control everything to trust. And the shift from control to trust is what opens doors. And, we think that we can control the future, but if we surrender to it, everything opens up. It's that full commitment to who you want to be and acting as though that's already happened. That's when doors open. That is surrender. Because when you stop gripping, you open yourself up to new possibilities. They can finally reach you. And that is what deep trust is, which based on our conditioning from society, from teachers, from our parents, whatever it is, it's really hard for us to surrender to deep trust. And it requires your intention. Intention is a really, really powerful thing. Because deep trust isn't like having blind faith. It's not hoping that God, universe, source is going to do everything for you. It's just an active state of aligning yourself with what it is that you wish to become instead of forcing it. And to trust deeply, and this is the thing, is like you have to keep choosing it, especially when you're not seeing results. And that, I think, is the hardest part. Because when we are not seeing immediate results, because we are conditioned that things happen immediately, we fall into doubt. So trust requires laser-focused commitment, unwavering commitment. Because you will fall back into doubt. You will. You will fall back into unworthy. You will fall back into all of your patterns that put you into your own black hole, right? But it's that laser focused commitment that helps you rise out of that. And it's not about intensity, because intensity really is force. It's just about devotion. And every time the fear inside of you, that subconscious brain that says this isn't working, right? Every time fear says it's not working, you're going to redirect yourself back to it's working, and I'm staying available for how it wants to unfold. That is deep trust. Yeah, Pam, that's exactly right. She says it's hard to surrender to deep trust when you're not seeing results. That's that unwavering commitment. Manifesting what you actually want and believing that it's coming. Believing that it's coming, no matter what. Because that doubt comes back in, and then your frequency lowers back down. Law of attraction, what you give, you get. So if you're doubting all the time, because we're so used to being in the force, it's, I've got to do this. I've got to put that out there. People have to see this. People got to sign up, blah, 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 blah. Like all that stuff that makes us go, we just want to scream, right? What if you just let that go and trusted it is coming? And then understanding that it might not come in the way that you are wanting to force it to come. It might come in an easier way, a better way, some sort of, synchronicity or opportunity that we were not even expecting. So that fear says it's not working, and the trust and the laser focused commitment says it's working, and I'm staying available for how it wants to unfold. That's allowing, that's focus, and that's staying in your power. And it's so easy to say that you're trusting when things are flowing, right? When things are going good. But that real trust happens when you're waiting for proof and you're choosing not to collapse into doubt. And that's the laser focused commitment, not to collapse into doubt, because it's so easy. We take the evidence of something that we have done, or we've tried this before, or I've done this before, and blah, 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 blah. We take the evidence of it not working to choose to collapse into doubt. Oh my God, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to sell. Nobody's going to sign up. And like I said, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I'm so better than you, blah, blah, blah. No. I mean, this happens to me all the time. It's those neural pathways that we sink into, and we have to be laser focused with that commitment to allow ourselves to choose something different, to choose trust, to choose to say it's working and I'm staying available for how it wants to unfold. Yeah, staying open to possibilities and reminding yourself of that. So force blocks flow. You've heard me say that before. And I can feel the difference between force and trust in my body, and I'm sure that you can too. Force feels like tension in your chest, like you can't take a full breath, like somebody's stepping on you. It feels like a clenched jaw. It feels like some kind of compulsion to check or fix something, right? And trust, it feels open, it feels steady, it feels grounded. Even if it's uncomfortable, right? So force shows up in many different ways. And it shows up like maybe you're saying yes to things that drain you because you're afraid that you're not going to make money in a different way. Like I know that I used to take, when I was painting furniture for so many years, I would take custom furniture painting requests, even though I hated them, because I didn't think money was going to show up in any other way. That was force, right? And then I just worked myself to the bone. Maybe you have a new program or a membership group, and you keep refreshing your email or your website to see if people are signing up, right? That's force. Force is, wishing and wishing and hoping and not seeing anything, and wishing and wishing and hoping and not seeing anything. And those actions, that's a physical expression of distrust. And that energy creates more proof that things aren't moving. And again, what you give, you get. And you take the proof and you go, oh my God, this isn't working. And what you give, you get. What you give, you get. So when you're in trust, your actions are simpler. You just take the move to do the next aligned thing, and then you let it breathe. It's the detaching, right? It's the detaching. It's working, and I'm staying available for how it wants to unfold. It's the detaching. You allow yourself to rest. Like, oh my God, what's rest, right? We have to work ourselves to the bone. Like I just said, we have to work on weekends. We have to work nights. We don't allow ourselves to rest. We don't allow ourselves to detach. We don't allow ourselves to connect with the outside world. And also, you're available for feedback without personalizing it. When I say that, you take feedback without personalizing it. How does that make you feel in your body? So trust makes action simpler, and that's what flow feels like. And ironically, like I just said, that's when results start showing up even faster. And trust is a muscle that you strengthen over time. It's not actually a muscle, but we can think of it as a muscle that you strengthen over time. And it grows through consistency. It doesn't grow through outcomes. Outcomes will come if you allow for them. Again, we can't force anything. You don't know what's going to happen. When you're consistent, when you're laser focused, when you know it's coming, you allow it to come, no matter how it comes. So I have 4 different ways that you can practice trust on a daily basis. The first is micro proof. So what you want to do here is you want to notice small ways that life, universe, God, source, whatever it is that you call it, notice small ways that life already supports you. So maybe it's a random compliment. Maybe somebody new comes into your life. Maybe you get a new client. Maybe you hear a clear no thank you that saves you time, that helps you, stay committed to the boundaries that you're creating. So this is micro proof. These are signs of alignment. Okay, the second way is checking your language and replacing the word hope with trust, because hope implies doubt, and that allows you to say, see, it didn't work. Trust is, I know this is coming. So instead of I hope this works, I trust this is working. That single word shift, this is crazy, but it rewires your brain to look for evidence of success instead of lack, because hope implies doubt. Trust implies success. Does that make sense? The third way is to choose one focus. And this is difficult for many of us that are creatives, because we're all over the place, right? And this is tough for me too, but it's choosing one focus, because trust cannot coexist with scattered energy if you are all over the place. So pick one priority this week and give it full attention. So for example, instead of me being all over the place, love that one. Yeah. Instead of me being all over the place this week, my focus is on my sacred pause for our mini retreat that's happening on December 6th. Instead of me being all over the place, this is what I'm focusing on. And if you have not seen or heard about the mini retreat, and if you are saying, yeah, I saw it, but it's in December, and December's the holidays, and I just have no time, that is the very reason why you want to come to this 4-hour mini retreat. And again, my focus could be all over the place. And I allow myself to go there, right? It's my pattern. My pattern of lack is being bing, 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 bing. Why isn't anything working, right? So that's an example how to focus on one thing. Choose one thing. And by the way, I just put the link in. It'll be in, if you're listening to this in Apple or Spotify, it'll be in the show notes. It'll be in the description of YouTube. But I just put the link in just now for the Sacred Pause mini retreat. It's going to be amazing. I'm just taking a second to tell you about this because it will reset you in a way that the rest of your December going into 2026, you will feel calm, you will feel amazing, you will understand that you don't have to do everything and be everything all the time. It starts with a meditation. We're doing art fusion journaling, which if you haven't done it before, it is incredibly transformational. We have the amazing Emily Ellenberger coming in to do a Reiki sound healing, which is just so moving and relaxing and lovely. Then we have Jaji Ives coming in, and she is going to do a human design related moon sort of a reading with reflection questions on where we want to end the year. And then we're going to close it all together. So it's 4 hours. And if you're saying, oh my God, I don't have 4 hours, I can't take 4 hours on a Saturday, then that's the reason why you need to sign up for this. That is the actual reason. Peggy said, I grew up believing I wasn't allowed to relax or rest. Now, as I'm getting older, I'm setting boundaries and making myself breathe, rest, relax, and trust. I love that. That's that conditioning that I'm talking about, right? So again, you're choosing one focus. Trust cannot coexist with scattered energy. We're picking one priority this week and giving it our full attention. And I just took the break to talk to you about the Sacred Pause mini retreat because that's my priority this week. And then the fourth way that you can practice trust on a daily basis is let timing breathe. When you find yourself rushing, pushing, forcing, take a pause. And you can ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? Because that question alone, it can dissolve the resistance that you have to this moment, this allowing, this possibility. What am I afraid of? And you can journal on that, or you can just ask yourself and allow it to sit in your body. And most of the time it comes back to worth, right? That's self-worth. And here's the thing that we have to understand is that the more we try to control our life and our business, the less control we actually have. Control is rooted in fear. It keeps us in the black hole. It's fear that if you don't steer everything, it'll crash. I get it. I get it. But trust is actually rooted in alignment, and alignment brings opportunities you could have never strategized or planned your way into. Doors open. So the real question is not how to control less. It's, can I let myself be guided even when I don't understand the plan? It is that laser focused commitment to what it is that you want, to who it is that you want to be. That is surrender, and that is real trust. Hey, Royce. So let's allow ourselves to take a big, deep breath, and I want you to answer these questions with honesty, without judging yourself. But where in your life or your business are you still forcing? Where are you forcing? Be honest with yourself. And if you're super brave and you're here live, put it in the comments. If you're not live and you're watching on YouTube, put it in the comments below. Where are you still forcing in your life or in your business? And where are you trying to rush the proof that it's working, that something is working? Where are you trying to rush it? Where are you forcing something to work? And what would shift if instead of gripping tighter, you decided to trust more deeply? Because we're allowed to be intentional and devoted without being frantic. This is nervous system regulation. This is feeling good in your body without walking around in constant anxiety. And that's the balance. It's surrender and commitment existing side by side. Does that make sense? Oh boy, did I need this today. I get it, Lynn. I do. Melissa, hey, Melissa, you're in too many places. And I get that to the core of my soul. I get that. Being in too many places, doing too many things. And that is what we do. That's what we're conditioned to do. That's that pushing, the forcing, the not believing that your intention, the thing that you really, really want, you don't believe it's ever going to work. You don't believe it's for you. You don't believe it's ever going to be enough. I get it. I get it. This lands with me. I think it's landing with you too. If we remember that our power is in the surrender, we remember that we have commitment to what it is that we want, that's where real creation begins. Surrender to the force. Sound like Star Wars, right? Surrender to the force. But I want you to surrender the force. Surrender forcing. Stop forcing. And again, that's the conditioning from the world that we live in, that we have to force, that we have to hustle culture, always being, in so many different places on every single social media. And then when we don't get the likes or the comments that we want, we think we're a failure, right? Surrender all of that. Be committed to trusting that your intention for your business or your life, who you want to be, is coming, and allow it to come. So that is what I have for you this week. I would absolutely love to see you at the Sacred Pause mini retreat. Listen, it's $47. I should be charging way more for this. It's $47 for 4 hours. You're getting a custom meditation just for that. And the meditation is going to root you. It's going to ground you for the rest of September, getting through the holidays, and for your beginning of 2026. And Emily's sound bath, it's a Reiki infused sound bath. If you don't know what that is, it doesn't matter. It'll help you move that stagnant energy in your body. Jaji's moon reading and her, she's also going to give like a little release ritual that will help you release everything. And then the art fusion journaling will make something really beautiful and meaningful at the end. Emily's sound bath, Micaiah, I know, right? Emily's sound bath is amazing, and she's going to be doing that in this mini retreat. It's only $47. If you want to upgrade to the VIP, it's $77, and you will get a curated gift, some beautiful products, including some things from Tendril and Thistle, which are amazing aromatherapy products, and some other things that I am including that I'm not going to tell you about, but that's only $77, and you'll get that in the mail. If you want the VIP, you have to sign up by Friday, because otherwise I don't have time to get it to you. Okay. So the Sacred Pause mini retreat is happening December 6th. If you're telling me I don't have time because it's December, that's why you have to sign up. Give yourself this rest. Give yourself this pause. Give back to yourself. Trust that you are able to rest. Trust that this will help you because it will be an incredible, beautiful experience. I'm so grateful that you are here today. I really am. I always think that these podcasts not only help you, but they help me too. They help me too, right? And just remember that we want a laser focused commitment. Who do we want to be? And then committing to that no matter what's going on around us. Laser focused commitment, taking that deep breath and allowing. All right. Thank you so much for being here today, and I will see you next week, Monday.